My children have a saying. They say something called breaking the fourth wall. If you've seen the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off, when Ferris looks into the screen and he talks to the audience, that means breaking the fourth wall. So basically, the movie stops, right? So what I want you guys to do right now is to break the fourth wall of your life. Forget about everything that happened before and forget about what's gonna happen in the future, because I'm gonna ask you some provocative questions that I really want you to pay attention to. Why are you here? And when I say why are you here, I don't mean why are you here in the physical life sciences building at Cornell University. Why are you here on this planet? And why are you you? I don't know if you've ever pondered that. Why are you you? Will the world be a better place when you die? In your deathbed, what will you think mattered? Do you think it'll be the same priorities that you have today? Or will it be something different? And do you have a purpose? What is the purpose of your life? Are you living that purpose? If you're not living that purpose, why not? These are some of the questions I asked myself after a very difficult experience that basically forced me to look within myself. It broke me. Principle number 2 is that your paradigms get stuck based on difficult life experiences. And I'm going to give you an example of what some of these experiences can be, just so that you can get a sense. But remember, this happens automatically and it happens subconsciously. When you have bad things that happen to you, this is very heavy baggage that weighs you down, that you carry with you forever until you deal with it. And it disempowers you, right? It prevents you from being the truly powerful person that you are. What is the impact of a student here, Latino, African-American, gay, that is different, right? When society is looking at them and treating them differently, when maybe even administration is doing that, or think of the paradigm of say an African-American 9-year-old girl who wants to be a lawyer, right? With the very difficult history of racism we have in this country with slavery, Jim Crow, and there's still racism happening today, right? So how can she go out there and manifest her definition of success as compared to somebody else that is more socially acceptable in society? Or think about the rights of women. I mean, we all know that women have to work significantly harder to achieve the same title, the same pay as men. And this is like, this has happened for hundreds of years, for millennia. And this is something that we're still experiencing in today's society. So what is my daughter's experience gonna be when she goes out there to get a job? And what I would like you to think about is, what event in your life have shaped your paradigms the most? I do want you to think about the positive ones, but I want you to spend more time on the negative ones, because that's what we tend to not want to do. So what are paradigms? Paradigms are the lenses that you use to view the world, your perspective, your mindset, your outlook on life. We all know what it is, but what's missing is knowing that it's a framework, it's an algorithm, it's a formula that we control. My son Nathaniel has coined the term the 7:30 a.m. blow up. And what he's talking about is, at 7:30 a.m., if we have not left the house, his father, me, is gonna blow up. Because when I was young, my father taught me, it's better to be 30 minutes early than 1 second late, right? So at 7:30, I'm probably gonna ruin their day. As I said, emotions are the tip of the iceberg. So let's go further down. Let's swim down under the iceberg and see what's going on. After several weeks or months of this, I can anticipate what's going to happen. And I have the ability to design a solution, right? Our solution was that at 6:30 a.m., if they get up, they'll have enough time to get to school. So not a problem, but we're not done yet. Let's go further down to see what's really going on. If I look at the value systems, at what's hidden in my paradigm that I'm not thinking about when I'm blowing up, what I'm gonna discover is that, in my opinion, in my mind, being late is rude, is disrespectful, and is inconsiderate. So now that I know that, now that I went through that full process, I have the choice the next time that we're gonna be late. I'm gonna look at my son and I'm not gonna blow up. But you know, I'm human, so maybe I do blow up. But then what happens is I'll explain it to him. And instead of having years where I'm blowing up at my kids and blaming them for being late, I can look at myself and realize that this is a problem that I have. This is not their problem. This is why it's so important to look at emotions as just the tip of the iceberg and really figure out what is hiding underneath. And the way to do that is principle number 4, which is that vulnerability is the antidote to stuck paradigms. When I talk about vulnerability, I'm talking about Brené Brown vulnerability. I am talking about a doorway to authenticity that allows you to explore and understand yourself and your emotions. And I use the word paradigm. It's very confusing. So when I think of a paradigm, I think of a garden. I have a garden at home and I have 2 choices. I have the ability to make it something beautiful, to cultivate it so I can go there with my friends, with my family and have a good time. Or I can just ignore it to the point where it's gonna become, an overgrown field of weeds. And if that happens, I'm not even gonna wanna look that way. But because we don't know that this is how your paradigm works, we actually tend to do that to our paradigms. We just ignore it and we run from all the fear. Start small. Start on something that is maybe not so scary. Take one step, then take the next, and then take the next. Because as Lao Tzu says, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.